but I am good with women when I want to be.
Right. I do look, and here's the thing. This is the good thing. Get us. You're in a relationship.
I meant something.
Okay, I'm pointing at nobody right now. So we're on YouTube right now. So I'm in a relationship, but now if you're in a relationship, okay, let me put it to you this way. So now let's say like you're in a relationship. Now let's say that you go to meet your buddy at Waba's Canteen to have lunch, but you already had lunch.
Okay.
Do you still at least look at the menu to see what they got?
Not my fat ass. When I'm full,
Sometimes.
I'm full.
I see where you're going with that, though. Like, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
do.
saying. I'm a firm believer.
Even when you're
in that
not hungry,
concept.
you still look at the menu.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that it does not matter where you get your appetite as long as you go home to eat.
Right.
You can look. I mean, if I'm walking by a restaurant, even if I'm not hungry and I smell a steak, I'm like, well, that steak looks pretty good. Maybe I'll have to, I might eat some steak later. But I still go home to cook steak.
See, that's what was awesome about the book.
Let's party.
Yeah.
Well, fucking
Okay.
Right? So when every stripper went, dude, all the wives, including the boy's mom, were up on the stage and dancing.
Nice.
And so, when they were throwing the tips, and what they would do is they'd take the money and then give it to the strippers.
Nice.
Cool.
Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then every place we went, the birthday, I think that's only $2 a head at the time.
Well, that's how you know there's some good-looking girls in there is if you get that many bikers there, because you ain't gonna get a group of bikers there for some ugly bitches.
Nah, bikers only go for hot chicks or good food. One of
Yeah.
the two.
And Wild Goose had both.
Oh.
That's a good spot then.
And so I had actually yesterday when I was teaching, and I was like hungry because I didn't have any breakfast, right? So I'm sitting there teaching in Wrightwood, and I says, and I'm just like naming off, wow, sushi sounds good, wow, sandwich sounds good, old burger sound good, and everyone got to talking, blah blah blah, this and that. I go, you know what? Bottom line is the best place to eat is where bikers and truckers are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We know where all the
It's
good
not
food's
the
at.
healthiest shit for you.
No, but it's the best.
But it's fucking good.
Yep. It's fucking good.
It's going to be the shit that you want to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. A double chili cheeseburger, top with the fucking tater tots and freaking, extra cheese. And,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give it to me, baby.
But please bring your fucking girlfriend that's going to walk into the biker bar and order a kale salad so everybody could just fucking rip on the both of you for the rest of the time you're there.
Kale
Well,
salad.
not to mention, if biker truckers there, man, if
Yeah.
the waitress is there, they're wearing next to nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is true.
I don't care if they got small titties.
And if if they are wearing something, it's super fucking tight.
Right.
And they don't
so
look
good.
horribly bad
And
wearing
they always call you hun.
Yeah.
Or sweetie.
Really like old school shit.
Right?
Shug.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
See, Oscar hates that shit because I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'm just that way.
Yeah.
That's how I front. Oh, hey, sweetie, what's up? Blah blah blah. Hi, honey. Why you call her honey?
Zig's nice. I use toots and woman.
Because that's the way. That's the way bikers are.
Yeah.
It's a communication thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not an insult.
So Justin, I went.
Ooh, what? Huh?
When were I?
Redial.
What do you want?
So
Put your phone down, Redial.
after our
Shut up.
ride, we went swooping by to visit you at the
Oh,
range.
yeah.
There was no fucking buddy there.
No, they closed it.
Yeah,
There
Zig
was
and I
only-
were looking at each other going,
that,
what the fuck?
That class was a Sunday, and only 2 people signed up. So they canceled
Oh.
it and just rescheduled them. Because it was a weird class. They were trying to, work around some of the baseball stuff.
Sorry, it was weirder for us when we both rolled out of the parking lot and then we were doing loops around each other, looking at each other with our hands up, going, what the fuck?
I love doing that, dude. So on Saturday, I went to Vegas Bike Fest.
Nice.
Just for the day. And that was really fucking cool because I wasn't planning on going this year. And then I got a text message from one of my Victory buddies who's also on a cross country. And he custom painted it to look like a Shelby Mustang.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's
You
blue
gotta send me a picture of that.
It's blue with the white racing stripes. It's
Yeah.
sexy.
Dude, you gotta send me a
And he hit
photo
me
of
up.
it.
He's like, hey, man, I want to go to Bike Fest, but I only want to go for the day. So you want to just ride out with me on Saturday, and then we'll come home Saturday night. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, because I have
damn.
work on Sunday. Whatever, no big deal. Well, it ended up, it became a thing, and there were 4 of us on Victories all headed out to Vegas. And it was a really cool ride out there, because, I get to lead, so I feel pretty cool about myself. 4 guys taking off, big loud bikes.
So you're in control of 4 guys.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Would you mark that one down in the books
Shut
as a
up.
victory?
Thousands of miles away from each other, you fuckers. Anyway.
You know you're falling into that one, dude. Come on,
So
man.
we get out there and we took off at 7:30.
Dutchie doesn't know that sound clip. Thank
Got
God.
out there by noon, and we're hanging out. Vegas is fucking wild, dude. If you've never hung out on Fremont Street in downtown Vegas, It's different from.
Oh,
the
is that where
Strip.
they have the bike thing?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
down on
okay,
Fremont
cool.
Street.
Yeah, Fremont's
So,
cool. The light
yeah.
show. thing they
Vegas,
got.
like the Strip, is where everybody goes to party and gamble and hang out and like dress up and shit. Fremont Street is where all the weird people go.
Yeah, so it's where you go to do acid.
It's fucking awesome. I mean, even as a sober guy, there was lots of entertaining shit to like
Oh,
see
yeah.
and do and be a part of.
That's
But
the
it was
best
funny,
part of
like,
being
we're-
sober. Is
We're
watching
hanging out
everybody
we went to the Heart Attack Grill, which was awesome because one of my buddies got there and ate for free because he weighs 370 pounds.
Holy
Wow.
fuck.
And
Wow, that's a
just,
big boy.
that's just a testament to the fact that a Victory highball can
I
haul
thought I was
370
big.
pounds worth of ass at 90 miles an hour without a fucking problem.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was awesome. So he ate for free and that was cool.
That's like
But,
a truck.
The waitresses there are dressed up like nurses and they're supposed to do
Oh,
their
that
little,
place.
like,
Okay.
flirty thing.
They
But-
do know CPR, right?
I have no idea.
Probably. Probably a
But
requirement.
my waitress kept looking at me funny because every time she asked me a question, I said yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And she was like side-eyeing me because I kept calling her ma'am. Apparently, that's like
Yeah, don't do
Women
that
don't
to
like that. It
women.
makes them feel old.
Uh-huh.
Well, I
I
shouldn't
think
say
it's
all
polite,
women.
goddammit.
Young women don't
No,
like
you're
that.
right.
whatever.
It makes any woman feel old.
It was a good time though.
Hey, Dutch, you don't go nowhere, man. I got someone calling in, dude.
Don't go nowhere.
He
No,
went
Seth
somewhere.
is another instructor. He's trying to.
You know you
He's trying
can
to
figure that out
download
by
the
looking
app,
at your
man.
screen over here and
doesn't
figuring out
know
there's
how
somebody
to
on the
do it.
call, right?
He doesn't know how to do it.
He did it like
I
once
don't-
successfully. I
don't
watched
know the
him.
button to push. Yeah, it's all bad.
Fuck.
No,
Alright,
he,
that
he
screen's
can,
not even
he can,
on.
He can punch him in.
Hey, just to let you know, you're now up and live on YouTube. That's what I've been fucking
All
with.
right.
Oh, dude, so you're
What's
fucking
that?
Which
awesome,
camera do I put
dude.
these fingers
Then we need
towards?
to
Both
do
of
another
them, they
shot.
can see you both.
I'm going to stop it real quick and change. That's where I was going, just to change the name.
All right.
All right. All right. Fuck yeah. Oi!
Oi!
Oi.
That must be Australian.
You call it a knife? It's a knife.
What accent's that?
He
None.
doesn't even know.
So now you're up and running on YouTube. The Zig Zone Biker Rally 3rd year anniversary show. Drunk fuckers. Go to Chaotic Radio Live and you'll find it.
Actually, it's a mix between Canadian and English.
Sure, yeah.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, no, I'm Canadian and English. There is such a thing. It's sitting in the
He's
studio.
English. Don't worry about it.
That's sad.
You're sad. Fuck off. I got nothing.
"You're
I got
sad."
nothing.
What are you like 5?
Yeah, I got nothing.
It's
I'm
sad.
rubber and you're glue.
I can't say anything because I had a rich father who spoke very like that, and he married the poorest of the poorest Scottish woman from the slums of Scotland. He couldn't understand when he parked his brand new XJ6 outside the slums. The bastards poured paint on it.
Oh,
Dad, they
that
don't
sucks.
know it's a car.
Yeah.
They swim across the river.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, now that sounded like Mexicans then.
Different river, same concept.
I guess
Deeper.
everybody has their Mexicans, huh?
Debris.
Yikes, Dave. Jesus.
God damn it.
Okay, so I don't want to close anything off on the screen we have inside here, Dutchie. So I'm just let me see, minimize. There we go. And then what's the one we do for YouTube? Is it?
I don't know what you're
Google
trying to
Chrome.
do. You
Yeah,
carry
that
on with
one.
your show. I'll come right in behind you.
Oh.
You won't feel a thing.
You're right there.
Yeah, I know you're short.
What were the words earlier? If you touch it, you're not coming back through the fucking door. Leave it alone, Zig.
What do you mean you're short? When the fuck has being short got to do with anything?
Why
Here, take a shot.
why do I the first thing I click on, man? It's got
That's Skype.
Somebody,
some shit.
somebody
You have no idea what you're opening.
somebody
Why,
that's really
why are there
pissing me
naked
off
girls
right now.
posing for us on this screen?
Wow. Holy shit.
Is that, is
do
that
I-
Oscar on the screen?
I didn't turn that off last night.
Is it
Whoops.
really porn on the monitor? I missed it.
No.
Zig, is that Oscar?
No,
But
but
there could be.
She's watching you, bro.
right.
It's like on camera right now.
No, but there's someone's name is the top left corner that I'm really pissed off about right now. But I'm
Well,
not,
Leave
you're
it, I
logged
wanna
in as
see it.
them.
Leave it logged in and let's
Trying
go
to-
write some messages on some board
Exactly.
somewhere.
If you're pissed off at him, now's the best time for some revenge. We on your Skype, baby.
I think that means it's break time or something.
No, fuck that. I'm just.
Nah.
I wanted to get Zig out of being pissed off on his 3rd anniversary show.
call. Let me. I'm gonna.
This'll
I'm gonna-
help.
What did you say? Who did
If
you
he
call?
pays
What did
attention.
you call a con?
Somebody's getting a call.
Ha.
You motherfucker, I kill you.
Oh, you can do that.
No,
live.
that's a key.
You can do
shut
that
the
live,
fuck up.
live on the air if you want. I can get all that on the air if you want.
I know. I'm. He's been trying.
He's calling him to call in.
He's been trying to call it. I'm gonna
Did
see.
you
If,
put it on speaker, Zig?
Tell him to fucking try.
He
and
put it
call
on
in
speaker
again.
so we can hold it 3 inches from his face and talk real loud.
It's on speaker. This.
I'm gonna take my shot
care.
first again.
I don't care what they say, man.
He's not here right now. So leave
He's
you
not
Listen,
here right
they
now.
can
So leave a
Kid,
fucking
you
message.
bastard
He's
kid.
probably still trying to download the shit. It's Seth. He's another
Oh.
instructor, and he's sitting there. He's trying to dial it in.
Okay,
and I'm
do me a
like, dude,
favor.
I just
Read that
tried to
fucking
call
phone
you.
number because the one on the website's still wrong as far as I know.
It's
No, I send him the-
909-360-8330.
909-360-8330 because the number on the website is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you
that's
are-
the old
easy,
number.
buddy,
Easy.
No,
Yeah.
I know that because Larry tried to call in like 2 different shows and he's like,
Yeah.
that fucking number's wrong.
But we always put them
Yeah,
on our
yeah.
post.
Let's not bring
Yeah,
up that
we
We
topic.
do put it on our post, but they're not reading that shit. It's just like
Nobody
selective
loves it.
vision, selective hearing.
It's that attention deficit
shit.
dealy.
Huh? What'd you say?
Hey. My anxiety has got me very
Wait,
many places
so
in
guess,
life. Don't you
guess
dare.
what? Guess what? I got a new toy.
I don't want to hear about
Yeah,
your anal
no.
massager.
No, that's
We're-
besides
did
my
you-
anal beads.
That-
Ah,
was it the
okay.
bike?
Then I want to hear about that.
It is a motorcycle.
Okay, yeah.
And no, it does not have a dildo sticking up on the seat.
But you know what's going to happen very
Yet-
soon, right? Yeah.
Yet, well, see, I don't think I don't want something sticking on my ass, but I think I'd want a vibrating seat.
Oh, yeah, just right on the balls. That'd be a nice ride.
You know, just
Relaxing.
something just to tickle the fancy a little bit.
Talk about a stress-relieving motorcycle ride.
What about
a
Just
cooling
vibrate on
seat?
down the highway, relax.
What
all
if they
the
had like a
stress
We'll
goes
ventilated
away.
seat to
Well,
vent
see,
the farts right
now-
out?
you-
Dial's shaking his head so fucking much right now.
I'm going home, I swear to God.
He has a
Dude,
vibrating seat. It's
Have
under
you,
his fucking
have, you,
beach wood.
have you seen these seats that have like the deep crease right down the middle of the
Yeah, it's
seat?
for airflow so you can get your nuts all dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so why can't I have one to vibrate my nuts? What's so wrong with that?
That doesn't have any fucking
He's got one. It's like a
It
1200
does have
BTV
value.
twin.
It's
He's
got
like, why
value.
didn't I think of this first?
1700.
Damn it, Zig
Oh,
thought of
holy
it.
fuck. 1700?
Dude, if I'm riding the
that really vibrates
Camarillo,
the balls.
if I'm riding the Camarillo to work at Larry's site at Learn to Ride VC,
I want to have to change my undies when I get there.
I wouldn't mind something a little tickle my eye, a little fancy. I'm just saying.
I can't say I'm not with you on that, Zig.
I'm going
I can't
home.
say I'm not with you because I'm totally there with you, buddy.
Have you
Well,
tried
see-
sitting on your cell phone?
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know goddamn well in Redow's fucking 1,000-mile ventures.
That would make them
in
so
like
easy.
5
So
hours.
much easier.
I know goddamn well that motherfucker would be like going, wow, it would be. I know damn well you thought about a vibrating fucking seat just to fucking ease the tension on your ass because I know goddamn well you're in the saddle for a long time, and I know that if you had a massaging seat, that would be awesome.
Maybe not a vibrating one, but like those shiatsu massage
What do
things
you
that
think
get
of
at the
what do you
fucking
think of
pedicure
massaging
place?
ones?
Like the ones that have like the little knobs. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, see,
Yeah,
see,
I guess that
Well,
would
see,
work.
and I could really
Huh?
use that
Keep your
because
legs from cramping.
see. He's not squinting his eyes.
I could have really used that on our trip.
Shiatsu!
Because like when you
Cheers
go,
to Otsko.
when you go get the fucking pedicure and you're sitting in the chair and it's got the little knobs that like they simulate the really deep massage on your fucking lower back and shit. That's pretty dope.
Dude, have you ever sat inside one of those chairs at the mall?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Me and Dylan.
yeah. Those
Dylan
are
and I.
awesome.
What about those water chamber dealies?
Dylan, fuck off!
Those things are badass.
Don't fucking correct my grammar, you
Said Dylan and I.
fucking cocksucker.
Oh, I thought you just didn't like the water chambers.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
gee.
Me and Dylan,
Me and Dylan.
we went to the mall. We got there early. It was like the stores weren't really
Why?
open yet. We got there, dude.
To beat the old
I
people.
just I got I got my tax return, and it was just like one of those things. It's when Dylan first moved with me, and so I was able to use him as a tax write-off. So I got a nice tax write-off.
I was like, here, kid, let me spend
So
some money on
I
you.
was like, when I got my tax return, I'm like going, holy yeah, I deposited cash. And I'm like going, so I took a bunch of money out, like $1,500, and I said, you know what, we're gonna take this money, and we're gonna spend it today. Or we're gonna spend it on this day, right?
Just doing shit.
So we had to spend. So we're gonna start the mall, and I was gonna get, we're gonna go shopping and get whatever, blah blah blah. And so we got time to start open yet.
Yeah.
But those goddamn, you put a quarter inside one of those chairs, so we're waiting for the stores. They start massaging you. So we're sitting there in this chair, and it just starts, and it's got those kneading things like you were talking
yeah,
about.
it feels like a little baby fist, just
Yeah.
like in your spinal muscles. I fucking love them.
And you're like going, whoa, oh man, oh, dang, Doc, that feels good. Then all of a sudden, this one goes right up near my butthole.
Yeah.
Dude, and it goes like, I'm like, whoa! and it happened to me and Dylan about the same time. We're like, whoa! What the hell? Easy, cowboy. What the hell?
That's funny shit right
It
there.
kind of felt kind of good, but you surprised me.
You're supposed to warn somebody
Right?
first.
Say, hey, I'm going to massage your butthole real quick, so just be prepared. Okay, I'm prepared.
Oh my God.
I like it. It felt good.
No, thank you.
So back to motorcycle.
Yeah, blow all the holy, please.
So,
Fucking go back to
calling all
motorcycles.
inventors, if you can get
damn
that
it.
butt plug up, Zig will buy a seat for his bike.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like
For his,
about
it's a 2004 CBR 600 RR, right?
What's that?
The one you were talking about? The new project
Yeah.
bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
track bike.
Those are good bikes.
No, that's even my new track bike. So, yeah, let me talk about that one. So, I got this, the boy's mama's neighbor bought this bike brand new, 2004 CBR 600R. Bought it brand new. He takes it for a ride. He's been drinking.
Uh-oh.
He gets pulled over.
Yep.
Well, he got lucky.
So now, oh no, it shows it on the thing. Watch, look at this.
He has no bikey.
No.
No, I mean, he's lucky he's still alive.
Yeah, well, there's that,
I
too.
found this shit out because I actually was going to sell the bike before I posted on Facebook. Then I deleted the ad, but I posted on Facebook before I wrote it. And my sales rep for Western Power Sports for my shop, Avenger Cycle Works, San Bernardino, said, hey, dude, I'm looking for a bike right now. And so here you go.
Oh, so he took it?
No. Check this out. He was gonna buy it. And I
It's
told
a
him
list.
don't open it up. This is the DMV printout for it to be registered. Just fucking tap on it and open it up. God damn, dude, really? So, anyways, I'm trying to share this shit with you guys, and I handed it to JJ, and he's got to be like one of the best tech guys here. So look at the fees on there. Look at the fees on there.
Yeah.
God damn.
I could tell, like, there's, like,
red ones.
the bottom half is all red.
No, look at
And red's not good in this case.
And look at towards the top. What does it say?
Yeah.
Motorcycle safety fee, fingerprint ID fee, abandoned vehicle fee.
Yeah.
But half of those are a fucking $1.
I know, but
The motorcycle safety fee is $2
DUI.
Nice.
Yeah.
What? Where?
There's something on there that has something to do with him getting.
Abandoned
So
vehicle.
to transfer the vehicle, do you have to pay those fees,
Yes.
or is he held to that?
No, you have to pay him
Why doesn't he pay him? He's the one who fucked
because
up.
he doesn't own the
No,
motorcycle.
I
okay.
bought the bike.
Theft and or DUI crime deterrence program.
Bingo!
$1.
But they charge him. So here's
about a fucking $1.
See, that's why I handed the phone, because I don't have eyes to see a screen like that.
Okay,
I'm
so
like,
so
I see too
anyways,
many numbers.
what I did is the guy called me. The boys told him and said, hey, I guess the guy was sitting there chatting with the boys, and he's like, wow, what would it take to get my bike running? Dude, the license plate, the last time I was registered was 2005.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
The
bike. Brand new
bike had 297 miles on it when I brought it.
Yeah.
So when I went and looked at it, and mind you, it didn't turn on. I couldn't see,
Yeah.
the gauge or nothing like that. And I says, well, what happened? Blah blah blah. He's like, well, I got kind of spooked, and I bought it, got kind of spooked, and I kind of let it sit, and then I just didn't ride it. And then the battery was dead, and then I tried to start it, didn't want to start, so then I just kind of put it off for another year, and the whole
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And then I took my jacket off because when I went and looked at it, I just got back from teaching over at SoCal, and so I was getting hot, so I took my riding jacket off, and he looked, oh, you're an instructor.
Ha!
Yes, I am. And so he goes, wow, I should have took that class. So that I was just like, kind of wow.
Shoulda.
So then I'm thinking, okay, so when he got spooked, I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to put the puzzle together. So he got pulled over, didn't have an endorsement, got bike unimpounded. He never went into the class to get his license.
Yeah.
And
So they won't let you get the bike back out unless you get your license. Once it's
right.
impounded.
So he probably had someone else get the license, but he
Yeah.
never went and pursued to get his license. Well, I go to sell it to my WPS rep for my shop where I get all my tires and what have you and parts, that I put on people's bikes. And he contacts a buddy of his that sends him that picture.
Oh.
So I'm going to sell it to him for $4,000. Now I bought the bike for $1,000, mind you.
Nice.
Yep.
I had to replace the fuel pump. I had to do work to it. I had to clean up the tank and blah blah blah. So I'm already into it. I was going to put tires on it, which I put the Michelin Pilot Powers, which are not cheap.
Yep.
All right. Did the oil change, blah blah blah. Did all the stuff. Now it's roadworthy. Now you're ready to rock and roll on the road. All you gotta do is register it, and it is on up. But when he seen that it was $951 to register it,
Yeah.
Like, never mind.
well, when he sent that to me, I going, oh, now I see why the guy he got a freaking probably got a DUI. He was, let me have a couple beers because he got it right down the street from his house. He said,
Oh.
and he lives right by March Air Force Base. So
Yeah.
you were sitting there, getting on the gas, you got pulled over for speeding, and all of a sudden they smell alcohol in your breath.
Yep.
Oh.
So he declined to buy it. I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad you did not buy it because I wanted to keep it. So now what I have is by the time I'm all said and done, once I register it, I already put the tires, did all this, everything. The bike's running. All I have to do is register it now. I'm going to be in that 2004 CBR 600R. It has 299 miles on the odometer right now. I'm going to be into that thing for $2,600. It's a brand new bike.
Nice.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all.
That's
I'm
a brand new
smart
fucking
investment.
bike.
happy.
It might be an 04, but it's a brand new bike. So.
Well,
pretty much.
and so my thing was, it's perfect for me because now I wanted a 600 to run
For
on
the
the track
track,
with my
yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Because I was running Bebe on the track, and I'm telling you, my boys
you
were
just can't do the same shit on a 1,000 that you can on a
that-
600.
When you start getting into leader bikes and bigger, their motors, you don't get the full power from their motors on a track. You get it on a
Yeah.
drag
Yeah.
strip.
You
Yep.
can't get into your power band. It takes too long to get into
Yeah,
your
it
power
takes
band.
too long.
Yeah.
And then once you hit it,
Unless you're ramping out in
braking
first
again.
and second gear,
Yeah.
and then you're braking shit because you're in high RPMs the whole fucking time.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only
'cause you're in
exception to
low
that,
gear.
the only exception to that are the V twins. But hey, we won't mention why RC51s were only in Superbike like a year.
Sure won't.
Right, right.
Dude, I'm taking the high
Those
ball
are
to the
good
PDW.
bikes.
It's gonna be fucking.
That was one of my favorites, the RC51.
It was my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
if I'll
in
ever
2
find
weeks.
another
I
bike
know.
that I loved as much as
I'm
that
gonna
bike.
go on
What's the other one?
Sunday.
The
We're having two
Suzuki
conversations
TL1000?
here.
Yeah, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up, guys.
Hey, T1000s are hunks of shit.
Oh,
Really?
T1000s, yeah.
I like them.
T1000Rs are hunks of
Well, it's
shit.
funny because I knew a few guys that had them, and they were like, "I'd much rather have your bike."
The
I go,
T1000
That's why I bought it.
is a good one.
Actually, I think I've heard
Yeah.
people say that. So
The RC51 was a great bike until you started having problems with it. Once you started having problems with it, it was a domino effect, and it
Yeah.
went right down the goddamn toilet.
Well, I guess it was lucky that I had one that was fairly taken care of, and then I continued to take care of it, so I really didn't have any issues.
Well,
You
yeah,
know, except for
were,
a Suburban.
well,
That was
you
my only
were at the
reason.
shop like every week.
Yeah, that too. I maintained the shit. I love that bike.
he just liked you.
I had an odd love for that bike. Like,
No,
probably a not okay love for him in material
Like strap
objects.
a flashlight to that fucking bike. Type.
No,
of
here's what Jordy
It had
would
big
do.
tailpipes.
Jordy was like clockwork, dude. If he was there every Friday,
Yeah, yeah.
guaranteed. He was there every Friday. But even if he felt something that was kind of weird, he would show up sometime during the week
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hey Zig, take my bike for a ride.
Check
I
this shit
feel
out.
this. Let me know what you think. And 99% of the time, it was just nothing. But at least he was there. That's the kind of person whose bike lasts them.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And I try to tell my customers, look,
Maintain your shit.
It doesn't matter how small the issue is. If
Yeah.
you think there's an issue, come to the shop. Let me ride it. I will let you know. But you get be like, oh, it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. And then
it's something.
and then it is something. And next you know, when they finally come in, they're like almost, and I go, well, shit, dude, you're looking at like $1,500 to fix your
Yeah.
bike. And they're like, what? Well, how long ago did you have this problem? Well, it was like 6 months ago, but I didn't think it was nothing.
Yeah, it probably would have been $200 6 months ago.
Right. Well, we need to take a break, unfortunately. And I'm still. Why do I have this fucking face up on this goddamn screen?
I don't
I'm
know.
telling you,
She's kinda cute.
The initials are BH, and I'm really upset at this motherfucker right now, and I'm not gonna say the name because I'm not that kind of person.
Just
The
when
name's
we,
Bastard
just when we
Whore.
got to the RC51 and my love of my life, now we got to take a fucking break.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let
Yeah,
let
we
me go
do.
cry in the corner about my old bike.
Plus, I
go
got to
fap in
piss.
the bathroom.
I got to piss, and I need another cold beer.
So it works out for
Go to break.
everybody.
Right.
Good break.
So Seth, hopefully you were able to open up the app.
Yep.
He hasn't.
And
responded
hopefully
yet,
you're able
so-
to look at how you can take a phone call from the screen in this office.
Oh no, he said K.
Dutchy, give us motorbiking.
Oh my God! All you guys that use the word "K," stop talking to me like I'm a 14-year-old girl. Stop that
Exactly.
shit.
You don't think I can answer the phones, fuckers?
How about
Zig
this?
Zone.
Cool.
3-year anniversary. We'll be back 2 and 10.
Motorbiking, motorbiking, motorcycling, moving on the Queens Highway, looking like a streak of lightning. If you gotta go, motorbike riding. Listen to me and I'll tell you no lie. Too fast to live, too young to die. I bought a new machine today and say, it take your breath away. Motorbiking, 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 oh, motorcycling. Moving on the Queens Highway, looking like a streak of lightning. Baby, won't you come with me? Take you where you want to be. Well, here I am again and I'm dressed in black. I got my baby, she's a riding up back. And we touring back 95. Ooh, so good to be alive. Motorbiking, 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 and motorcycling. Moving on the Queens Highway, looking like a streak of lightning. If you gotta
Yeah, man, we are back on the Zig Zone. 3-year anniversary. If you want to call in, it's 909-360-8330. And I'm looking at stuff on my Facebook, and people are like, they're listening in, but you're not calling in. Call in, talk to me.
Yeah, don't just
They don't
post
wanna
something on
talk
the
to us.
Facebook.
Like, nah, fuck you guys.
You know what? You know what it is. It's people that are that. Let me put it to you this way. Look. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Here
Kind
you
of
go.
buried the lead, though. I want to know what's up with this chick with the CBR.
No, hang on a second. I have an ex from high school right now.
And in case you guys
Yeah,
didn't
she's
hear
got
it as we were
cigarette
closing out to go to break, if you are a man, stop replying to men or anybody the word K.
Cool.
For the love of God, you're not a 14-year-old girl.
Okay.
My niece.
Fine, I'll type 2 letters.
My cousin,
Okay.
my cousin in New Jersey does that. She's a blonde 14-year-old little girl. That's okay. If you're a grown man and you respond to me with K, you're gonna get something back like, go fucking die.
Whatever.
I do. I put K. Fuck it. Why not put fucking K? What the fuck? You want me to put more? How
Right.
important is someone that you deserve more than a K? I got that.
How about FNK?
How about I just fucking unfriend you, take your fucking number off the phone and say fuck you sideways?
Right, there you go.
There is that option. that works for me as well, and so I never get a K again.
Is that what the sideways smile emoji is for? Is that what that means?
What?
What Dutchie just said.
I have
Fuck you,
no
I don't-
fucking
Probably.
clue.
I
Yeah,
have no
fuck you
idea.
sideways. That's what it means.
Is that what that means?
It means
I don't
fuck
know.
you sideways.
I'm so out
I'll
of
put the
touch.
K and then I'll put that next to it. You can figure it out.
I'm so out of fucking touch. Like, I'm one of those people that I'm a stickler for grammar and punctuation.
Yeah.
So when I text, I use periods and commas and appropriate punctuation. And people constantly ask me, "Are you mad?"
I
Yeah.
know.
Like, no,
He's like,
I'm
oh my
just-
God,
No.
you used a period on that
If you-
sentence.
yeah,
I'm speaking
if you send a
English,
text
that's all.
message-
I've had the same thing happen.
If you send a text message and you end it with a period, that is text lingo for like "fuck you, I'm angry." I did not know that.
Zig doesn't
I
understand.
come
He's still
from the era
texting
where,
all
like,
caps.
I still had pen
Zig's like,
pals
"What's
when I
a
was a kid
text?"
where like you wrote letters by hand. Like, I'm sorry that I added a period. That's how you end a sentence.
Exactly.
I go to fucking college. Like, come on.
Jesus.
Jesus, kills me, man.
Period.
Right, period. No, kills me, man, exclamation point, to get the fucking point across. Because now, if you want to yell, you have to type in caps.
Well, we've got quite a few people listening in. Michael Platt, Mike
Mike
Platt.
Platt.
I gotta give Mike Platt props, dude. You know what?
love Mike.
The
And
Plappinator. What's that?
This is
The
one thing that
Plappaplat.
sucked with Mike, man. He was supposed to join us at Track Day 3 weeks ago, with Track Experience at Streets of Willow, and fucking
I was too.
Friday night, dude. He had to work. And I just got done earlier in the week. I prepped his bike, making sure that it was going to pass inspection. Because before you go on the track, you have to do inspection.
Yeah. Didn't he get bonked by a car or something?
Yeah, and then he's
Yeah.
crossing a fucking. He was sitting there and he got the green light. Starts crossing. Some car ran a red light, dude, and took him out.
Fuck.
He's
Yeah.
alive,
What?
clearly. 'cause
Yeah, he's
still texting and
fine.
shit.
And his bike really didn't get all that hurt because it just kind of like tapped his front
Oh.
rim, so it didn't like broadside him
Yeah.
completely. God, man,
really
I'm like,
fucking lucky.
really, dude? He signed himself for Track Day. We're going to have a great time, man. And I'm telling you, trackexperience.com was a very, I think, out of all the track days that I attended, that one was very well run.
Then there's Jordan.
And it wasn't a bunch of assholes, because you get a lot of when you spend a lot of money for a track day,
Yeah.
like normally the track days are right around anywhere from $250 to $400. And when people are paying that kind of money, these are like your like go-to guys. These guys
Yeah.
are fucking hot on the track. Track Experience, it was $140 per person.
That's not bad at all.
No,
That is-
that's super cheap.
That is
That's
super
nice.
cheap. Now, they didn't supply lunch and things like that. These
Yeah.
other ones sit there and go, well, yeah, it's $275 and we supply lunch and it's a goddamn fucking sandwich.
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
So
bar.
like catering, like, fuck you.
I was like, really, dude? God damn, that sandwich was not worth, $50.
Yeah.
Shit, I go to Jersey Mike's, man, and give me a freaking mo with a number 9 with extra bacon, for freaking, $15.
Easy, fat
And I
boy.
guarantee that you ain't gonna finish that sucker in one fucking sitting. So-
Speaking of bacon, what the fuck?
So it was
DJ.
a great day. So Mike did not get to join us in that one. You know, I want Reed out there. Here's the thing.
I wanna
one
go
of
again.
one of their things is they say, you know, make sure that the bike is, you know, track worthy.
Right.
Good
Well,
tires.
there was a guy on a freaking Harley, dude, that was my nemesis. And I'm on an 05 CBR 1000R, and this guy was getting it. And
That's awesome.
The first thing that popped to mind was two people. Okay, James Sanner, who's another motorcycle safety
The Harley
instructor
guy, yeah.
that goes to track days with his Harley, and then there was fucking Redial on his goddamn Victory. Okay, because you know I've never ridden with James Sanner, but I've ridden with Redial.
Yeah.
And you know, we've talked about it before. We went for a ride, and we let a bunch of guys out, and I had some newbies with us, you know, that were my son's friends. Of course, my sons were like going, see you guys. We're buddies, but see ya. So I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to have to govern their friends because, you know,
Got to babysit them a little bit. Yeah.
you know, yeah, I got to make sure these guys get to realize it. So before we even left the shop, I go, guys, I'm going to stay back with you. Don't you dare fuck off. Okay, so we start going up, and then we get about maybe, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a way up the 18, and so now we, you know, and I'm like going, okay, you know what, I think I'm fine leaving these guys, and I told the guys, I said, look, keep it slow, and I took off. So now I'm catching up to fucking Redial.
Yeah, because at the
right?
bottom of the hill, the boys took off, and I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
So I kicked it down a couple and chased him. Now, mind you, both his sons are on CBR 600 RR.
No, this is a different day. I'm talking about a different
Okay.
day. We've ridden a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, this time now where it gets when you first start up the hill, it's a little bit sweepers.
Oh, yeah,
As
I
you start
love
going up
those.
the hill, it gets a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is on his fucking bike,
Yeah.
and he's got bags and shit. You know,
Yep.
dude. You know, and
14-inch
he
apes,
and he
all that
knows
shit.
goddamn well that what line I'm going to take.
Yep.
He knows, and he's just like stuff you. I'm like, you motherfucker,
The thing is,
dude.
my line has to be different because I don't have the ground clearance. But if I hit my line right, I snuff his line out. So all he can do is tuck in behind me and wait for me to move because I'm a fucking boulder in the middle of the road. And if I don't give him the space, he can't move.
Can't you
when
take
we
him on the
get-
outside?
Well, and we get in the tighter.
He does. He
well,
passes me on the outside.
Yeah, but we're right now we're in the tighter stuff, so it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you
you
bastard! You know,
motherfucker.
it's like, oh god, I can't. I don't have that room without taking the chance of fucking
Oh,
up his
yeah.
line.
Yeah, he'd be
I
getting
don't-
real close.
I don't want to go out and fuck his line up.
You mean it wasn't like
I'm not
when
gonna
I was
do
on the
that.
RC and you were on a bike and we were
Yeah,
like
I know. Yeah,
No.
fuck
almost
you, fuck
touching
you, fuck
almost
you,
touching
yeah.
tires? Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
it wasn't
defensive
like that.
riding.
No, I didn't want that to happen.
Yeah,
On the
no.
highball, you might pull that shit.
But you know, it's you know, I love the whole track thing, and I think that would be great for you to come out there, dude. If you came out there on your Victory, dude, would just be like making guys like, what the hell?
Dylan was
And you
passing
gotta
some
watch
dude
it
on the
'cause
outside lane
James, he just picked up an XR 1200, and he put
Oh,
like
nice.
some kind of weird speedster fairing on the back of it, and like a sport bike looking tail, and that guy's fast, like ridiculously fast. And I didn't realize this until after I got to know him a little bit. He's only got one eye.
Yeah.
too. Wow.
I had no fucking clue. Like I don't, with both my eyes and decent depth perception, I ride okay. I have no idea how he's doing it with one eye.
Maybe depth perception is what fucks it up.
I guess I don't know. Like shit, dude. He's quick.
Well, I think
He's really
you know,
quick.
well, as you lose some, you know, one of your intuitive, you know, things like
Maybe he's
your
got
sight,
like,
your
maybe he's got like
vision
really
or-
good spatial awareness because he can't see with both eyes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, your vision, your hearing, or your,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
your taste or
Yeah.
touch.
Sure.
If you lose one of those, it enhances another. Yeah, and he's a great instructor. I had the opportunity to teach with him at
Super cool dude too.
in
Love
Camarillo
that guy.
at Larry's site, and
I ran into him in Vegas.
What's that?
I ran into him in Vegas.
Did you?
Yeah, he was out there chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, cool cat.
Really cool dude.
Very laid back.
His lady's cool too. That's one of the things I really like about the instructors, man, is the ones that work for Total Control Training are not dicks. I've never run into any of them that was like super cocky and arrogant. Even the ones that are ridiculously fast on the track and spend every fucking weekend there. When I got there to do my track day on my big ass Victory, they weren't rude about it. Like these guys
Yeah.
go around the track and they're like, okay, you kind of suck at this thing, so follow my line, and I'll show you how to do it right. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I follow them, and I got better over the course of the day because these guys didn't let it get to their head. They're like, okay, I can pass that guy in the big fucking bagger all day long, or I can show him how to do it right and make him harder to pass.
Right.
Good. Those are the kind of people I want to work with because they're not egotistical about it. They want to pass on what they know to bring everybody else's level up too.
Right.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and the boys, when they were at the track, it was, they were like, giving L2 guys, level 2 guys a hard time, and it was just the most exciting thing for me. I just couldn't believe how fast my boys were, and it goes back to when the boys' mom was just like, when I was taking them to the motorcycle training when they were little. And they're in classroom, and they're watching the slides, and then they're on the range, and then listen to the instruction. And then when we'd sit there and we'd watch racing on TV, then I would explain it to them. And she was like, I think she didn't want them to ride bikes.
What mom does.
You think?
Right. But she was just so ecstatic too. And so now what we're going to do is starting in 2018, I'm going to start formulating my race team.
Cool.
And Drake's going to be my rider. Dylan is going to be his sparring partner.
That's cool.
So you know what a sparring partner on the track is, right?
Yeah, that's the guy you chase or get chased by.
Right. That's the guy that because
gives you the motivation.
Dylan's fast, and they are both fast. Very, very fast. Dylan, it needs a bigger bike because he's a little more hefty.
Yeah.
Hefty.
It's all that goddamn weightlifting.
Well, he's just
Get him a 750.
He's dense. He's not fat. He's just
Yeah.
thick.
He's dense. He's thick.
750
my
is
boys
good
are
and
in
light
shape,
enough
man.
still. He'd
You can
be
see
able
their
to flick through the
muscles.
corners
What's that?
on a 750.
What about it?
I said, get him a 750.
Oh,
That's
That's what I was
he
saying the other day.
wants. That's
Gixxer
what he
750 would
Yeah.
be fucking awesome.
That's what he wants. He wants a
Or the
750.
675.
But
We were talking
speed
about that
triple.
last week.
Yeah.
we're talking about a budget here.
Yeah.
It's whatever's in
Get a
my
pole man
budget.
bike. goddammit.
If I'm gonna get you a bike, to
he's
help
got a
train your
job.
brothers, so it's gonna cost me a pretty penny.
Yeah.
But I think that just watching Drake run around the track and him just like eating guys with 50. These guys are level 2, level 3 guys. He was with level 3 guys. He wasn't passing them. But he was like, really like, following them.
Yeah.
Level 2 guys, he was passing. And some of these level 2 guys were on $50,000 Italian stallions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
always
look
good
at how I
fun,
used
dude.
to do with the fucking Ducati boys. They couldn't fucking keep up with
I
me.
know, but I'm just saying. But, you are, and how many years have you been riding on the street?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay? He's been riding on the street
Yeah.
because I got him his bike,
Sorry,
15 and a half.
Yeah.
He's 17 years old.
Yeah, Drake's
It's
not
his
even been on the road
first
for
track
2
day.
years.
He
Yeah.
goes on the track, and once he's done 5 sessions,
Yeah.
now he's out there with the fucking big boys going like, oh,
Yeah.
is this all you
Yeah.
all you got?
Well, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things I didn't mean to take away from your son's ability. It's just more one of those. These guys go out and it's just like the guys who buy, like a Ferrari or
weekend
Mercedes
warriors.
and think, oh, it's going to be the fastest and the best thing around. Not if you don't know how to use it.
Well, no. Well,
Spend the
see,
money,
well,
or
these
you can
guys, no.
practice.
Let me put you this way too. See, there comes a time as a rider. I've been riding on the track
Yeah.
and stuff for many years, and there comes a time when you walk through another threshold and you step back.
Yeah.
You step through a threshold, but you step back.
Right.
And I'm not at that pace anymore. I don't want to do that pace anymore. I don't have that. I've enjoyed myself and I've had a lot of fun in my years. You and I, we would take groups out and boom, we would go back and then we'd have to pass everybody else again. I know we've been there, but I think in the last few years, I've just like got to this point where like I don't have to prove anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And I don't need to push it to the point where I'm at the edge of, the limit.
Yeah. Well, and I think we talked about it one day, and you said pretty much since my accident, you haven't ridden like that anymore.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Because we used to do it. We used to ride together and push each other.
Yeah.
Right. And
Sparring
that,
buddies.
that was a big impact on me, because the last thing I wanted to see is someone like Jordy, who I love like a brother. Yep. To see him, and I spent many visits in the hospital with him, absolutely non-coherent. But what was a spark, when I would go visit him, when I talked to him and I held his hand, and I told him, I would say, just do something, just move your hand. But it took a minute, but he would move. When he moved his hand, that lit something up. But I think you're right. That was one of the thresholds that I stepped through, and like going, wow, you know what? I don't need to do this at that step anymore.
Exactly. That was same thing when I lost my old man. Like I had lost friends before, like acquaintances in motorcycle accidents and stuff, and I'd had people get injured and then come back from it and all that kind of shit. But up until that point where my dad passed away, I was still fucking around. I was still, going out to the industrial district and trying to do wheelies on the long straights and shit and fucking around. Oh, yeah. Still riding around in a t-shirt half the time with no fucking armor, with my skin all sunburned and shit. And I lost my old man. And he was fully geared on a slow cruiser on a straight line road down the street from his house, minding his own fucking business when somebody took him out. And that, when you see somebody that close to you have something happen, like, oh shit, let me reevaluate real quick.
Right.
Like, yes, I have the skill. Yes, I'm having fun. But somebody else who makes one fucked up dumbass mistake could snuff out the candle of my life because I was fucking around. And, now I got on cruisers, and I kick ass on the cruiser too. It's a hell of a lot of fun, but my style of riding has changed to accommodate.
Yeah, and the boys, it was an interesting conversation once, we were on the way home from the track. Drake said, I said, so son, tell me your thoughts. And one of the first things he said, he goes, you know what, Dad? I will never ride like this in the canyons again.
Yep.
That's the best.
He goes, now I know what you were telling me, because I always told my boys, I says, boys, remember, always ride no more than 70%.
Yeah.
And we would have, meetings before we left the shop. You guys know.
Oh yeah, every time we ride.
And what do my boys do?
Gone. Fucking 110.
What? I mean, come on, guys. You know? But now that they realize the difference between, pushing yourself at on the streets and then on the track are two different things.
Oh yeah.
And Drake was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll never do that again." He goes, "Now I realize."
Well, now you know, like that. There's a time and a place for that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to be a stunter, go to the local quote unquote stunt spots where these guys go to practice in a controlled environment. You want to be a fucking fast rider? Go to the track, because the track has the controlled conditions with the EMTs standing on the side waiting for you to fuck up, and you're on the same 16 turns, so you can master your craft. It's not like going out. If you want to go like check out a mountain road and have a nice burger and have a nice ride with your lady, go ride the mountain. But the mountain is not the place to ride like a dick, because it's not safe.
Yep.
I don't fly well. So if I hit a fucking K-rail at 85 miles an hour and take a tumble off a cliff, I'm dead. I got no wings.
I can tell you how far I fly.
If I lay a bike down at 85 miles an hour on the track, I slide to a stop. Most of the time, people stand up, and if you don't, there's an EMT waiting to pick your ass up.
Right.
You don't have to wait the fucking half hour, 45 minutes, 3 hours, however long it takes for them to get up the fucking mountain.
Well,
plus
there's
no
helicopter.
No other cars or trucks right behind you.
Right.
Cause more trouble.
Yeah, there's no cars, there's no trucks, there's no dirt, there's no gravel, there's no rocks, there's no other idiots, blah, 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 And if there is an idiot on the track, they get black flagged.
Yeah,
Yep,
they
get
take
black
them
flagged
off.
and they get pulled off.
Oh, really?
If you're
fucking around, you get black
If you're
flagged.
being an
Nice.
asshole riding, they'll black flag you. And now here's the deal. You've paid good money to be on the track that day.
Yep.
You
So you're
get
not a
black
dickhead.
flag, you're done for that
done,
session. And then go back out to the next session. And if you want to get black flag again, okay, fine. Because I'm telling you right now, doing a track day with me and my sons, it was $1,000 a day.
Wow.
Now, if you're solo, it's obviously cheaper. But I have 2 sons, so I
Yeah,
had
so you
to-
got to foot the bill for everything
Yeah.
they do.
But it's $1,000 a day. But even still, even if it was a $300 day,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let me see. How long did it take me to make $300?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it worth me to go out there being an asshole and they get flagged and
Yeah.
like wait and actually you only get 2 black flags.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah.
just,
The
you're
second
done for
one
the
is
day.
I wouldn't
today.
take you back if you kept getting black flagged.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 2 black flags. You're done for the day. Bye.
Well, and they can tell. Like these guys that are the spotters on the track and the flaggers, they know what's up. If you
Yeah.
get out there and you're wobbly and your lines kind of suck, they're like, okay, this guy's new, or this guy doesn't understand how the track works,
Yeah.
and they'll guide you through that to get you over those jitters and shit. But
Yeah.
if you're riding like a dick for the sake of riding like a dick, they spot it real fucking fast. You're gone
Yeah.
before lunchtime, dude.
That's
Yeah.
actually
They
good.
don't have any fucking patience for it. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
if
putting
you're
other
out,
people at
if you're out
risk.
there trying to be
Yeah.
Nikki Hayden,
Yeah.
they're not going to
Fucking,
let
you're
you
not
ride
all
the track.
Rossi, come fuck
Yeah.
down. Yeah, no.
That's why they have it in levels.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, L1, L2, L3.
Yeah.
You know, so that way you the L1 guys they don't want to be out there, but you know,
Dude, I got butthurt when they knocked me back down to basic. I was so sad because I went for 2 days, right? And one of them was like a scheduled day, and the next day was an open session, so like we could mix it up.
Oh.
On day 1, I started off with the intermediate group because the guys that were organizing it kind of knew my riding style. And I was riding around a little bit, and he's like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bump you back down to basic so you can get – you're at that threshold where you're at like the top of basic or the bottom of intermediate. So we're going to put you in basic so you can get the feel for the curves and stuff.
So you
And
can
then
beat
we'll
up
talk
on the
about it later.
kindergartners.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Make yourself
fine.
feel pretty
Ow,
again.
That hurt my ego a little bit. I'm like, all right, fine. Well, I'm just gonna like suck it up and just push to really kick ass.
Yeah.
And so for like the rest of the first day, I was at the top of basic, and even on my big ass bike, I was passing some of these other people, and I was feeling pretty good about it.
Sweet.
I was like, all right, cool. That's okay. I got it. And at the end of that day, they were like, okay, we've reevaluated, and tomorrow you'll run with the intermediate.
So I got a question for all of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I don't ride.
Sure.
Did as a kid, but I know you guys get serious about. I mean, Zig, you teach how to be safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to a track and then get like fucking pumped, really pumped, and then let that adrenaline take you onto the street, or can you just turn yourself off and go back onto the street? Even maybe you've raced the track and you got all and then you go out on the street and you take yourself right back down again. Or do you get back out on the street and as you disappear down that first road, you just hit it?
no, you actually turn your switch off.
Yeah, it's
And-
weird because
Is
I
it
didn't think I'd
easy?
be able to do that.
Yes, and well, here's the thing: if you do, let's say that we did a session, we did 3 sessions, and now 20-minute sessions around the tracks. Now what you're doing is you run a track.
lot.
It's anywhere from a mile to 2.5 miles. So a 20-minute session is quite a bit, and
10
you're
to 15
actually
laps.
you're actually pretty worn out by that time. So you come in, you do 3. By the time you're done, even if you only did 3, when you took off, I mean, you'd be pretty much like on, dude, I'm just ready to,
Mellow.
It's
Go
for
home
real.
and take a nap.
I'm ready to go home and like
It's-
drink a beer, dude.
it's
But
And-
now you got to
kind of
watch
like-
out for cars
Chill
and
out.
trucks.
Like, Dutchy,
But-
do you go to the gym?
Not right now, but I have done for the
So you've done
last
before.
10 years. Yeah.
So like when you go to the gym and you're really pushing some fucking weight, and you're like, yeah, I've got my fucking pump on, cool. Then when you go home, do you still try and lift a couple 100 pounds?
I don't.
Or do you work it all out at the gym?
No, I don't. It's a difficult question because it's a different scenario, because you're on that bike and you've just, when I go home, I haven't got the weights to pump and I haven't got the machines to work. But when you leave a track, you're still on the machine that just could have given you the biggest buzz that you got. You could
Kinda.
have, you could have
There's the
had,
risk.
you could have had the best 5 laps or the best 20 minutes of your life and go,
Yeah.
I'm a superstar, and then I'm pulling out, and you're like, oh yeah.
So,
and
like,
away you
actually,
go, you know?
actually,
The
being-
way that you're just talking
actually-
about the weights, like you don't have the weights at home and you don't have the equipment. The road is the equipment.
Yeah,
to
I
us.
get that. That's
Well,
that is a
the
great
roads
Beer
on
is
the
weight.
track
That's a great
are
answer,
fucking
yeah.
Crazy.
Actually, here's how that works. Most people, when they do a track day, they're actually like trailering their bikes.
Yeah.
So they're actually not even riding their bikes. So they know because they're going to do. It's most track days are 8 to 11. You're on the track. You start the track at 8, and then or 8 to 4. I'm sorry. and then you go to 4 o'clock. And they're in 20-minute sessions, so it depends on your level. So you're doing 3 sessions per hour for 8 hours. So you're pretty burnt out.
Wow, that's
but
a lot.
And I know where Dutch is coming from with this. And now here's the problem, Dutch, with a lot of the riders when they talk about canyon riders. What happens is now they've got that adrenaline and they're starting their ride out.
They're chasing the high.
But the problem is, they're now they are at where there's what we talked about: cars, trucks, other motorcycles, squirrels, road debris, blah blah
Rocks.
blah. And as they start going up the hill, the adrenaline starts getting more.
Yeah.
And that's what stops me. Not just those riders, but more the guys in the cars and the trucks. That's what stops me getting a bike. Because most of the guys who get wiped out on the bike are doing everything they should be doing right.
True.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what... You're so defenseless on a bike.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
can be.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're out there. I
If you
mean,
don't ride
there's-
right,
there's
then
no.
We should just invent some wings so something goes wrong, the wings pop out and we fly away.
I'm gonna
Buzz
fucking
Lightyear.
kill you, Dave.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Gonna kill you, Dave. You're
Oh,
right
yeah, I
back
mean,
on the
it's-
top of the list. You work your way down. Yeah, you're right
The
back
wings
there.
are already there. That's the one you've been wiped out.
Have you seen those airbag suits they make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually
Those are pretty
seen
cool.
those in demos. It's pretty cool.
It
but no,
is.
like that.
It is.
If you're
Well,
one of those
but-
guys that wants to go ride the track, I'm trying to think of like another analogy to give you, but like if you have a really nice gym that's got really sweet equipment and there's not a whole lot of crowd is there, so you can always get what you want when you want it, and you get this like perfect workout, right? So you get that adrenaline pump and you're feeling pretty good. Then you go home. By the time you get home, your legs don't fucking work because you busted your ass at the gym.
I remember those.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it's like on a track. You've got all the best equipment, the best road. There's no pebbles. There's no painted lines and reflectors to hit. There's no trucks coming at you in your fucking lane because their brakes don't work. None of that shit. So you can get... Seriously, when you go to the track and have a track day, it is the hardest fucking workout.
Yeah.
I went to the track day 1, went to my hotel, crashed out. Day 2, I could barely fucking walk because all my muscles had been worked.
Yeah.
Getting that bike to do what I wanted it to do.
Yeah, because you're using muscles that you normally don't
Yeah.
use, and because they teach you how to.
Yeah, they teach you how to use them properly.
You know, they make sport
So then-
bikes.
Right, I know that. So then,
Use your
No,
fucking
it
brain
doesn't-
muscle,
it
Dave.
doesn't- it
Shut
doesn't
up.
matter.
You take
It
that
doesn't
track
matter even if
experience.
it's his. I
No,
mean, there's a
the
very
technique
little
is the
subtle
same.
change
Yeah.
between his and yours.
but the technique
Because
is.
the technique is
it's
still
there.
the same.
But then, if you take that track experience and then you take all the stuff you learned and try and apply it on a mountain road in traffic, it's like going from a kick-ass specialty gym to the shitty 24-hour fitness with the sweaty fucking equipment and half the shit's broken and you got this fucking crowd of smelly fat people hanging out. Like it's just
Hey.
not the same experience.
Hey, we all got to start somewhere.
You know what I mean, though? Like,
Well,
if you're going
I
from
know.
someplace that's highly focused
Yeah.
on doing what you're there to do, and then you go from that to clusterfuck, of course you're not going to have the same experience. You're not going to be able to get the same thing out of it. And that's how it was for me. Like, I went
Yeah.
to the track, and doing the same 16 turns over and over and over again, I got to really hone my skill.
Right.
And then I went out on the mountain road like the next weekend because we were like, yeah, let's go try this shit. And I just didn't get the same feeling from it. I was like, nah, fuck this. I'll slow down and go home.
Well, people got to remember that there's a track. It's like Riedel said, it's the same corners over and over and over.
Yeah.
So if it's a horse thief mile is 15.
Yeah, it's 15.
15
in 1 mile.
So you have 15 curves in 1 mile. So if you're strong in 8 of them, that means you have the other 7 to work on.
Yeah.
And so that's what you do. You work on them, and it's over and over and over again. It's not like going up to Big Bear where there's not one corner is the same as another.
No.
Yeah.
The environment changes, and not only does
Yep.
it change as far as your cornering, it also changes is your environment.
Yep.
Which is as far as like the cars and the
Lots of
debris
traffic.
and what have you, and when you start seeing a falling rock zone, things like that.
At different times of day have different traffic flow. And all that kind
Exactly.
of shit. Now there's a CHP hanging out that wasn't there in the morning, but he's there in the afternoon. So now I got to chill on those corners instead of hitting them properly. All that kind of shit happens.
And the temperature change
Yeah.
as you get high in the altitude. has a effect on your tires.
Yep. Going from high
Whereas
to
you're
low.
on a track, you're at the same spot. The temperature is the same.
And your carburetor too.
And
Oh wait.
If you have a carbureted bike, the altitude
Yeah.
change can fuck with it.
And what happens is you get guys that get a sport bike, even if they take the safety course.
Sure.
They say like, oh yeah, I was on a Redoubt in Zig's course.
Sure.
They showed me how to do the proper body posture and blah blah blah. Now I'm gonna just go up there and practice it. Okay, very good. Then you put them. You say, okay, well, and me and Redoubt always mention the advanced courses and then the track clinic, which you can actually go on the track with instructors, and of the same curriculum, and hone those skills in corners over and 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 over again.
That's what
and you'll get criticism every single time because we can't criticize you if you go to Big Bear and you start getting your adrenaline pump going.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't do that. You need to have on this same 1 mile track, Horse Thief Mile, over and over, or Streets of Willow, or Button Willow. It doesn't matter. You have to.
Yeah. It's repetition.
Repetition is what programs your brain, and if you suffer in a certain area, you work on it to make it stronger.
Yeah.
You don't have that opportunity when you're out in the real world. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way for 99% of the people, and I would never suggest anybody doing this. I was a little bit different before my accident. I had a photographic memory, and Zig knows me. I was in his shop every month and a half replacing tires because that's how much I used to ride the mountains.
Yes.
Wow.
So I was one of those. I thrived in the clusterfuck. It didn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
I could make adjustments at 80 miles an hour in a turn and not kill myself. Most people aren't capable of that because A, they don't have the memory, and B, they don't know the roads that well they're on.
Right. Well, you are also able to afford to be able to keep it go up and down. And now
that's true.
Now back to affordability. Back to affordability. People think like, okay, well, shoot, I can sign up for this track day, which I'm telling you, Track Experience. That's TRACK, capital T, RACK, capital X, Experience. Go on that, and then it's dude. I have not gone on theirs site and seen anything over $200.
Yeah.
It's been $140, $170.
Yeah.
So now, what people think like, okay, what's $170?
Yeah.
That's $170.
Plus
But
tires,
it's
fuel.
right.
Yeah.
But and there's guidelines. You have to have good tires.
Yeah.
You have to have But go sign up for level 1.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people go on the wrong side and they go, now you have to have safety wire and blah, blah. And it's like, well, now I got to get all this money. No, you don't.
No,
if
you
you
can
go
start
into
off
a
simple.
level 1,
Oh.
it's just your bike. What they're going to make sure that you do is you don't have any lights on.
Yeah, tape off your
Oh.
head.
You're going to tape off all your lights
okay.
or unplug them or pull the fuse out so that your bike's running. You have to have good tread on your tires. That's it. And of course they're going to
Proper
check
riding gear.
They're going to check the manufacture date on your tire
Well,
too to make
check
sure
it.
that the tire
Oh,
is of a manufacturing date.
Yeah.
So and people see these expenses, they go, "Wow, it's only $140, but I got to do this, I got to do that." And
Yeah.
you know what?
Hey, you gotta do those anyway.
I'd rather just go to Big Bear.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Big Bear and just put $20 in my gas tank.
Don't.
That's where the problem happens.
Don't.
Now what you've done is you spent $20, but now once you've gone down, guess how much it costs you?
Thousands. Yeah.
Don't do that shit, man.
Thousands upon thousands
Of miles.
If not,
Yeah.
your ability to walk,
Yeah.
your life.
Well, that's
Okay,
You still gotta buy new tires regardless.
The burden on everybody around you that
somebody's got to wipe your ass until you can use your hands again.
Thank you fucking very much.
Well, here's the thing. If you
Riding
go out-
fast is fun.
Wait.
It
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
fun. Me and Redoubt said every fucking single range we do. Riding fast is fun. This is how we start our range too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Riding fast is fun. Leaning a motorcycle is fun. That's riding anything in a straight line is boring as fuck.
Yep.
When you drive up a mountain road in the car, it's boring as fuck. But you ride up a mountain road in a motorcycle,
Not in my car.
It's fun.
that is
Sure.
that's fun.
Yeah, buddy.
But
I don't know. I think those
but
drag
think
It's
races
about
not
might
it.
be
boring
fun
in my
too.
fucking car. It's more exciting than being on a bike.
Oh shit! Don't challenge me.
You don't
in my
ride. You don't
son's
know.
bar against
Are you
motherfucker.
telling
I
me
used
if you
to
didn't
fucking
have
ride. No, I used to ride.
if you didn't have one
I'll
of them
chase this
V
guy on
rods
the
for a
highball.
drag
Hey, this
race
guy
that's
would-
just like
That's true.
super
No, that's right.
powerful and
But
just
here's the
taking
thing.
off and like
Yeah.
super killer like
Even
quarter
if you're
mile,
doing drag
that wouldn't be
racing,
fun.
Like the quarter mile or the half mile, the eighth mile, whatever. Even if you're drag racing, the technique is more important than the speed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Right.
can go to fucking
Then it's a
Chaparral
challenge to
right
stay
now
straight.
and buy a fucking Hayabusa that off the showroom floor will do 180 miles an hour, no fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a fast bike.
Oh yeah.
That is not a fast rider.
No.
Fast riders, I have seen guys
but people
on
will get those.
Hayabusas get passed up by dudes on 250s and 300s.
Oh yeah. It's all about
Because it's
the
about
technique.
technique
Yeah.
and knowing your machine. And that's I always tell students, I'm like, look, dude, I know because some of them come in and they've got some experience. You know, they've tried to do the wheelies and shit, and they come in, they're like, I know how to ride, but I need my license so I don't get pulled over. Fine, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they get to like showboating on day 2. I'm like, look, bro, I'm all for going fast, but slow it down 5 miles an hour and learn the fucking technique.
Yep.
Because if you get the technique, you've already got the speed. I've seen you scrape the fucking peg on my little Rebel 250 for 16 fucking laps. Congratulations, you laid a 250 over. Whoopsie-doo. But if you get the technique right, you won't scrape the peg and you'll go
Exactly.
even faster.
Mm-hmm. I bet
And
you
that-
could like haul on a Busa on one of
Seriously,
those track days.
I had a really old guy when I first started riding motorcycles. One of my mentors, really old cat. I think he was an ex-outlaw club. I don't know which one. Old grizzled biker. Which there's 2 kinds of people you watch out for in life: old soldiers and old bikers.
Yep.
Because they live in situations where most people die younger.
Yep.
But this old cat, he was like, "If you can't ride a little bike slow, don't try to ride a big bike fast."
That's
I was
true.
like,
That's actually
that
great
fucking
advice.
Stuck with
Jesus.
me. It stuck with me for almost a decade now. And every time I start to thinking I'm some kind of hot shit on my big ass bikes, I go get on one of these little 250s on the range and try and counterweight that shit till it drags a peg. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know everything. This does take some technique to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start getting that, like, that's
Yeah,
what the track
everyone's
is good
different.
for. Because the difference between a track and the road out there on the mountain is that the road on the mountain is not designed for us.
Yeah.
It's designed to get from point A to point B and climb the elevation. So you get
It's just
these-
twisted
you get
around the
these
actual
squiggly fucking
corners.
roads
Yep.
because they're trying to climb a mountain without leveling the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you go to a track like Willow Springs or Button Willow or Horse Thief Mile or any of those other places, they have built that track specifically. Like Horse Thief Mile is the only one that I've been on that I actually did some research on. But every single one of those corners, they brought dirt there to build that corner to specifications. So you have decreasing radius, sweepers, you know,
So you can
fucking-
accelerate on every one.
Exactly. Bank corners, off camber turns.
Yeah.
They've designed it. On camber and off camber.
Blind curves.
They've designed it that way on purpose. They've measured every ounce of dirt on that hill
Yep.
so that they know exactly how you're supposed to ride it. So when they see you doing it wrong, they go, oh, he fucked up there. Let's flag him. Let's bring him in. Let's give him some coaching. Get him to do it right.
Do they have
The mountain
guides
roads
like
aren't
for the
built like
track that. says this corner, like go in at this gear, like whatever,
No,
things like
every
that?
bike's
No,
different.
they
You
have-
couldn't do that.
Okay.
It's more about the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Because your
what they
speed
have,
determines your line.
Yeah, what they have is they have other instructors when we are because we'll be there. I'll be there in 2 weeks. You missed.
I'm
the
there
chance.
Sunday.
You're on Sunday.
Yeah.
But you're still
I
gonna
missed
ride
the track
he,
day.
he still gets to ride the track, but he's missed the track day.
Oh.
But it's still the same thing when we go to do our PDW. You're still riding the track, and they're still going to make corrections for you. Because remember, as instructors, we are trying to give people right lines.
Yeah.
When they're on the range. And so to make sure that we are doing the same thing, now what we're doing is now we're on a track doing the same thing that we're teaching, but at a faster pace.
Right.
At a, more than a reality pace.
No, on the range,
You know what
they're
I
on
mean?
little,
More
like,
than just
250s.
more than just, here. Now we're humming.
Yeah.
And so, okay, well, now you have it at a better pace, so let's make sure that you're doing this. And so what they have is they have observation points.
Yep.
And
They literally
now
have
on
2 people
on-
sitting in a corner watching you go by, going, okay, his body position was a little off right here. Okay, cool. They radio down to the guys in the staging area, and if you're fucking up
The hot
repeatedly,
pit.
the hot pit, if you're fucking up repeatedly on the same corner, when you come in for coaching, they go, okay, on turn 5, you need to drop your shoulder more and look over your shoulder more. Okay,
Nice.
cool. Once you get that right, they go, okay, now that you've got that right, get off the saddle a little more. Okay, cool. And you'll get little baby corrections until you're hitting that thing at the appropriate form.
One correction at a time.
Yeah.
They might do like a couple corners, but they're only going to correct one thing per corner.
Right.
So you have the observation points, and they're gonna flag you off after a few laps. They're gonna go into the hot pit, and they're gonna say, okay, read now. Turn 5, you're turning too early. Turn 8, you're not looking enough, and turn 10, you're going too wide. So it's those things, you know. You might tip yourself in at the right time, but you're still going too wide. Why are you going too wide?
Too fast.
And so what they're doing is they'll also self-correct. They'll help you. They'll make you self-correct yourself, and which is great. Which is why I'm
That's what he just did.
Which is what I want to do. Which is what I look forward to on a Friday, because this is before the PD. This is before the whole instructor weekend. This right here is a day that we can sit there and learn our flaws.
Yep.
Because when Rita and I sit here, we always have a debrief after each class. And then when on day 2, when we sit there, we talk to the students, we say, you know, hey, you know, come back to the advanced classes, blah, blah, keep your learning, you know what I mean? And we'll sit there and say, we have to do the same thing. Because the track day that I went to with my sons, we were level 1s, and it was a classroom. So that was my learning experience. I need to humble myself every year. I humble myself to make sure that I'm a student. When they went around the class and they're like going, okay, and they went to my son, and then to my other son, they went to me, and I going, yeah, my name is Zig, and I just really just want to, you know, enhance my cornering technique. I didn't say, I'm been an instructor, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
blow myself up.
Sig's like, I want to have a girl on my bike right now.
I am here to
I'm going to discuss my
learn.
technique, like a little bit from the
Because-
side.
Here, you want to see
A little bit
pictures?
over here.
actually, Jen, our instructor, was pretty hot, but she was gay.
Yeah, well.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
She's still a
Oh,
she.
good thing Uncle Mike
No,
wasn't there.
she was gay. The only reason I know that is because one of the other fucking students in the thing was hitting on her. And she's like, well, you know, I have a girlfriend. And I was standing right there, and I was like, oh!
Burn.
Sorry
That's
for
your
you,
in.
buddy. But, you know, the thing is, one of the things about being a good instructor is to actually humble yourself to learn.
Hump yourself to learn.
Humble.
I said humble.
Dave, right back up at the top of the motherfucking list for all of us. We're gonna have to put a death list on that
Go
wall.
ahead, Dutchie. Go ahead. You're waiting. I know. I see it.
No, dude, I had a serious question about 10 minutes ago, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
When you said there's nothing like going up a mountainside, you know? Don't go in a car, go on a bike. And I went, fuck, my journey up would be as fun.
Okay.
Right? So earlier on, you were talking about canyon riders and the fuckers who go speeding up and speeding down. When you do stuff like that as instructors, because it's a different world for you guys, you know? And it almost goes back to a question I asked, but when you say you go up a mountainside and there's just nothing like it, how safe are you? Do you know what I mean? Or how sometimes do you get lost in the moment of being on the most unbelievable natural road as opposed to, like you were saying, we got a track here that's actually built for going around. So do you ever go on and I know, Zig, I read your stuff all the time about, you know, when you come down a canyon, most of those canyons you've ridden many times. You know where the potholes are. You know where you slow down and speed up. But do you ever get lost in that moment?
Actually, there are times when I do, and only because I have, you know, my boys. And when I get lost in that moment, it's because I'm trying to catch up to them to catch them to say, slow the fuck down. Okay,
So you're trying to catch up to them to slow them down.
Right.
I've had something kind of like that happen. Like, I really love going to Newcomb's Ranch on Highway 2.
Yes, that's
I love that
place
spot,
to go.
but especially because my dad's ashes are up there. So when I go to do that particular ride on that particular road, the second I get off the main freeway and start heading for the canyon itself, my brain goes somewhere else. And it's very zen-like because I forget to count the corners. I know how many corners are between the 210 and the restaurant. And then from the restaurant out to the 138, I know where the corners are. But I tune that out. I was like, okay, cool. This next turn coming up, I'm going to handle this turn. Because if I start thinking too far ahead, I forget why I'm riding that ride. And the whole point for me is to remember what my dad liked about it.
Yeah. Which goes back to what, Dutch's question is, do you get lost in the moment? And
but I think honestly, I think it's more safe to be so focused on the road that you're not really looking at the scenery and the birds chirping and the fucking hot chick standing off the side of the road hiking or whatever. Like if you're really riding the ride the way you're supposed to, it's not tunnel vision really, but all you see is the road. All you feel is the bike.
Yeah.
All you're doing is riding. I forget exactly how the quote goes, but it basically says, the man who's on his motorcycle is removed from time. You can't think about what you did. You can't think about where you're going. You have to think about where you're at. And I love that about being on a motorcycle because I can't worry about the shit that happened at work 2 weeks ago or the fact that, blah, blah, blah thing is going on. While I'm on that bike doing that mountain road, I have to focus.
Right. Yeah. And do I get once I get into a rhythm, do I feel spirited? Yes, I do. There's also a matter of knowing the canyons.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been riding the hills of Southern California since 1983.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably know them pretty well.
The road hasn't moved.
You know what I mean? And we're
well,
talking,
some of it does.
We're talking on bikes without the great suspension.
Yeah.
And they're very hefty. And just the handling characteristics. It's not the same as my CBR. I mean, I was riding a 76 CB360, up Highway 2 in 1983. Or, 1983. So it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah.
As technology, moves forward, bikes get tightened up and they're more agile. When it comes to corner, and I do get lost in that moment. I do, and but there is a time, and I know that because the last time Redal and I rode, we got to a point, and I was like, and I was like, because I was talking about him fucking blocking me, and I said, then all of a sudden he's like, I was gonna, and he's like, oh yeah, but you seem to slow down, and I says, you know what, I got to that point where I think I was pushing it too hard, and I had to stop.
Yeah.
You and I on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was on my 83 GS 1100.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, mind you, this thing handles like shit.
It really does. I borrowed that fucking
I can
bike.
attest to that.
It had like a fucking boat.
I was
throttle
directly
on it.
behind him the whole time, just watching the bike.
And he's on an FZ1, which is
Ooh,
2014 FZ1, right?
09.
09. Doesn't matter.
Same fucking bike all the way
same
through.
thing.
Yeah.
All the way.
20 years.
Yeah, so 09 to an 83.
Yeah.
And so we're going through the twisties, and we get to we're sitting there at the at Rocky's Roadhouse, and he's like, "Yeah, I could tell." And he said, and he looked at me, he says, "I seen your handlebars shaking."
Yeah, buddy.
Those corners.
Yeah.
And I had, and I couldn't go, and I could see him right behind me, and I'm like almost.
Yeah, I was trying to give him space, but
I was like, fuck. I mean, just go. Yeah. But I could see that Jordan was like, now we're on a relaxing ride.
Yeah.
It's just you and I, brother. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason to do any kind of pushing because I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordy, that if you were to pass me and then start heading up, which you had every opportunity to, and I know you could have, I know you could have, would have pushed me harder.
Well, there's that, and I would have done something dumb myself, so I was like, I'm just going to chill.
Yeah. Right. But even pushing myself harder to keep up with you on this old school bike. I mean, there's nothing.
But it's funny.
There's nothing fun about rolling an 83 GS 1100 that's like freaking 900 pounds.
I don't know if that answers Dutchy's question or not, but I think some of that just comes from maturity.
Yeah.
If you ride long enough you work out the kinks. You stop giving a shit if you're the fastest guy on the mountain, and you start giving a shit about making it.
Yeah.
I don't care if out of everybody in this room, I'm the last guy up the hill.
Yep.
Because I'm having fun. I'm not riding your ride.
Yeah, it's
I'm
still
riding
fun
my
no matter
ride.
what you're doing.
And if I feel like doing 40 fucking miles an hour and checking out the clouds while I go up to 2, that's what I'm going to fucking do. And then when we get to the restaurant, then it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, because we're all going to talk about that squirrel that we saw, you know, or whatever. But I don't give a shit about keeping up with anybody anymore.
Yeah, no, and we tell our students, you know, before they leave, and we say, look, you know what, there is no trophy and there's no money.
Yeah.
At the end of that road.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing up there, dude.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe a heart attack grill somewhere.
And I'll touch to both their points because there's something Justin said earlier that made sense. He's talking about counting turns. When I was 23, 24 years old and riding, I had my fucking RC. I would literally, like Zig was saying, I would go up and down the mountains all the time. I didn't spend my money on anything. I worked 7 days a week, so I had the money to do that kind of shit. But I would literally count the turns, and I would put on my Mozart and my fucking iPod, and I would say, okay, turn 1, outside almost touching the line, 3rd gear, 48 miles an hour, turn in, press. I would literally count the turn and tell myself what to do. And that's how I developed the skill.
Your own navigator.
Yeah. These days, I gotta get back into that or something because now I'm just all over the fucking place. Well, I can't concentrate anymore. My goddamn brain's so fucked up from the accident that I just have to ride slow.
Well, see, which is why every time that I ride with you know, him now, I want to keep the pace down.
Yeah.
You scare me enough, brother.
Yeah.
You scare me enough. And
like,
the thing is, you know what, Jordy? I know what your capability is.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have it now? It doesn't matter if you have it now.
I don't have the equipment.
It doesn't matter if you don't have it now. I don't have it now. I've tamed down myself too. We have nothing to prove.
Yeah.
We really don't have nothing to prove. And if you're out on the highways, there's nothing to prove on the road.
No.
You want to prove something, prove it on the track.
Yeah.
Spend the extra money because I can guarantee you, if you go to a track day, so what if it costs you $250? Okay, and it costs you, $100 for avgas.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Those are only 2 expenses besides you toting your bike to there, which I would suggest that you probably trailer it because the likelihood of you crashing on the track is high.
Yeah.
But the experience is worth it.
But the experience is worth it. But look at this. Let's say that one track day, you can do a track weekend.
Sure.
Track Experience does weekends. It's on track day. They do the weekends. So when they rent Streets of Willow, it's the weekend. So not only can you sit there and do a track day on Saturday, then you can sit back and barbecue and chill out, and you can touch base and you can sit there and conversate with some of the really fast guys that were on the track today because they're there for the weekend. Get some tips, and then you start making friends, and have a couple of beers and just relax. Yeah. And then you go back out the next day, man, and you'll see your improvement. I was timing the boys every single week, every single lap. I was sitting there timing them. Now on Streets of Willow, the boys' first track day, their best lap time was 1:40.
Nice.
That's a good time.
Say I don't know if that's good or bad. No.
That is good, and anybody that's listening knows. So it's worth it because if you crash on going up to Big Bear or something like that, dude, thousands, and thousands, and not only
it's all
bad, it's going to be all bad, and someone might be burying you. Okay. So. That's it for the bike rally.
We'll end it on a high note.
Make sure go to a track day, have some fucking fun. Go and go to the motorcycle training. Get yourself trained. Reed Allen and I will be there for you. Go through the advanced training. Come to a track clinic and let's have some great times. And I'm telling you, if you do that, you'll always be 2 wheels down and shiny side up.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. We do have a special guest. I'm not going to say who it is.
Next week, but Zig uses his words.
We'll tell you Monday.
Don't forget to tune in. It is a live band, and we'll be kicking some goddamn ass. So we will see you next week. Stick
Rock
around for
on.
the Roy and Jimmy thing on KIACRadio.com.